Welcome to Bible at Work. Before time had a name, there was Eden. A garden so perfect that pain had never been invented. Crystal rivers sang between trees heavy with fruit. Flowers opened at the slightest breath of God. Adam and Eve walked barefoot across velvet grass, crowned only with the light of innocence. No thorn had ever pierced a human heel. The world was exactly as the Creator intended, flawless, fruitful, free. One bite of forbidden fruit shattered everything. The ground itself rebelled. God's voice, heavy with sorrow, pronounced the curse. Cursed is the ground because of you. It will produce thorns and thistles for you. Thorns, sharp, merciless, unwanted, burst from the soil for the first time. Humanity's first crown was not of gold, but of pain. Every prick, every scratch, every failed harvest would forever remind them, you chose this. The paradise that once embraced them now drew blood. From that moment, thorns became the signature of the curse. They choked the promised land. They tore the robes of prophets. They grew wild wherever sin ruled. Yet in the darkness of that symbol, a promise was whispered: one day the curse would be reversed by the one who would wear the very mark of humanity's rebellion. Jerusalem, 33 AD. A man stands bound before Roman soldiers. They have heard the rumor, this carpenter claims to be king. So they decide to give him a crown. Not gold. Not silver. They gather the toughest, sharpest branches the cursed earth can offer and twist them into a mocking diadem. Blood already begins to flow before the first blow is struck. The king of the universe is about to wear the signature of Eden's fall. They press it down. Thorns drive into scalp and forehead. Blood mixes with sweat, the same sweat that once fell in the garden when Adam hid. The soldiers kneel in cruel mockery, "Hail, King of the Jews!" But heaven sees something else. The second Adam is reversing the first. Where Adam brought thorns into the world, Jesus is taking the thorns onto himself. Theologians have seen it clearly for 2,000 years, this is no coincidence. The ground was cursed with thorns because of Adam. Now the Son of God wears those thorns as a crown. Paul would later write that Christ became a curse for us. On Calvary, the King of Kings carried the full weight of Eden's rebellion on his bleeding brow. Every thorn that pierced him was a thorn pulled from humanity's future. The curse was being crushed under the weight of perfect love. The crown itself did not disappear. Early Christians venerated fragments as early as the 5th century. By the 13th century, the relic, then in Constantinople, was offered to the saintly King Louis IX of France. In 1239 the barefoot king carried it into Paris like a sacred treasure. He built the breathtaking Sainte-Chapelle just to house it. After the French Revolution it found its home in Notre Dame Cathedral, surviving even the Great Fire of 2019. Today it remains one of Christianity's most treasured relics, not because of the dried rushes and thorns, but because it reminds us the curse was real. And so was its defeat. The crown of thorns is the ultimate plot twist in human history. What the soldiers meant for mockery, God meant for majesty. The curse that began in Eden ended at the cross. Jesus wore our shame so we could wear his glory. Every believer now walks on redeemed ground. The thorns that once defined our story have become the proof that our King conquered them. Eden is coming back, and this time, no thorns will ever grow again. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel.